The whole ball of wax at launchpreneuracademy.com is a $4,000 value that is yours for only $1,499. However, when you apply the code SPRINGRUSH at checkout, that's all one word, SPRINGRUSH, we're going to take another $300 off. That's $4,000 of resources for less than $1,200. The special discount ends April 3rd.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, happy start to the work week here. I know a lot of you guys are actually getting ready for the spring rush and the spring season, especially all my friends down south. I know you guys are actively getting your businesses ready to rock and roll and head on out the door, which is just wild, including the fact that it's wild up here in Michigan, real time, coming at you guys here on a beautiful Monday morning. The temperature for the week is like mid 40s. We have a couple days in the 50s, and then believe it or not, we have a couple days in the 60-degree temperatures. The 10-day dips a little bit, and then it goes back up to the 40s and 50s right after that. So it is a wild, warm spell that's going across at least the Midwest and I think the Southeast. You know, I'm not sure really the weather conditions as you guys go west to the Plain States and, towards the West Coast. But nonetheless, man, it's wild looking at the temperature because it feels like spring is in the air. And that just got me thinking about... Man, it's got me thinking about a lot. First off, this definitely like a spring fever, like a spring rush. You want to get on out there, start working, start making money, of course, myself included. We've got some big things coming down the pike that we can't wait to reveal on social and just some, upgrades and things we're investing in and building and where we're taking the company this year. Just, I'm sure like a lot of you guys. But all that comes from a plan. Everything that we're trying to put together, it comes from a vision. And that's something that I wanted to talk about for just a couple quick minutes here. Maybe a short and sweet episode today. Talking about, putting together your vision, putting together your business, and putting together the company that your heart's purpose wants you to, and that you want to, and this vision and this message that you have, and this company that you want to build, this company that you see that could be employing friends and family and relatives and neighbors and people in the community. I don't really have anything written down here, but I was talking to Caleb Allman and Jeremiah Jennings, and we were actually in Destin, Florida here just last week. Just a little family trip for our families, and it was just a really good time just to kind of pull away from the business, pull away from life for a week. Didn't do a lot with social or anything really in particular, just kind of kept it low key, spent time with the family, did a little bit of business stuff here and there, answering some emails when I could. But it's just nice to kind of break away, especially, like I said, in the Midwest. Normally it's 10 to 20 degrees and balmy, cold, frozen, and snow everywhere. But actually, like I said, pretty moderate right now, which is great. But any which way, when we were talking down there, it got me thinking, because we would just have like a couple like conversations and debates about topics and just things. Like we're always talking about our businesses. And to be honest, it's not, we're not like scheming, hey, how do we always just grow our social media? It's, hey man, what are you guys doing in the field? Hey, what are you doing with new equipment or the shop? Or Jeremiah, what are you doing with your CRMs? It's trying to grow our businesses. I mean, we're picking the brains of each other to, iron and sharpeneth iron and trying to take this thing to the next level. I would imagine just like you guys listening into this podcast, you're trying to grow. And one thing that Caleb and I and Jeremiah, we did a tail end podcast topic, which was just talking about like seeing things that other people can't see. It was a Mr. Beast clip that Caleb had recently dropped on his episode on the Kid Contractor podcast. Not sure if you guys got a chance to listen to that just yet. But it was definitely like Mr. Beast talking about having a vision and people calling you crazy and, people think you're an idiot, frankly, those first couple of years until something materializes. And by the way, that could be a day, that could be a week, it could be a month, it could be a year, it could be a decade. A friend of mine's friend, my friend was a personal trainer. He had a client that was responsible for a business. And I'm going to change the stats of it a little bit here, just to keep, because maybe you guys would know who this is. And again, I don't think it would really matter, but long story short, he had developed a process in automotive that took a very complicated process and made it a one-stop process. I know it's a little elusive there, but in which way, the guy put this technology together for like 30 plus years before it was ever adopted or picked up by the mainstream from like the automotive companies or the suppliers or the tier one automotive suppliers over here in Michigan and, you know, across the world. Long story short, he finally got it in, and as you would imagine, built one of the largest automotive supplier companies in the world. And it's crazy. Like, guy's obviously 100 millionaire, if not billionaire. But he went for 30 years, technically, without turning a profit for his company. Everything was going back into R&D. Everything was going back into, you know, machines and presses and technology and patents and attorneys and all this stuff. And all of his friends thought he was literally crazy. And the guy's like, it took me 38 years, I think it was, to finally get his company to where it needed to be able to like make the tech to change the entire industry that it is what it is in this guy's company, and then, you know, for the automotive world. And it's like, you hear so many stories like that where, just to talk frank, you hear so many stories about people all along the way. They're like, man, I've got a message, or I've got a way to do something, or it's a risk, it's a chance. And, you know, it's more glorified lately, you know, more like on a Shark Tank or whatnot. But, you know, we're always trying to, some of us, let me rephrase that. Some of us have this vision, this idea in our heart. We want to execute on it, and we want to make something of what we think we could do. We could do better, or build better, or create something, or, you know, start the next company, obviously, in the area. And I just wanted to give you guys some general encouragement that you should do that. I know it sounds weird to say, but man, you should do that. And really, to go back to the topic we were talking about with Caleb and Jeremiah, hanging out with those guys, they were great, is just like, you know, one of us had said a line like, not everybody's supposed to get it. Like, not everybody's supposed to see your vision. I think Caleb actually has a clip literally that says just like that. And it's an interesting thought that many of you guys have heard the same thing. Like, don't always tell your vision to everybody, right? Because some people might not get it. They might discourage you or discredit it. Or, you know, one question I get a lot, even with, you know, DMs and emails, is like, hey, is it saturated out there to start a lawn care business? Is it saturated out there to start really any business of any topic? I mean, if somebody told me, hey, I'm going to start the next sub shop, I'd be like, dude, there's Jersey Mike's and Jimmy John's and Penn Station and, my gosh, Firehouse and dude, 25 other different franchises that we could all, you know, rattle off at the top of our head. But so what? It doesn't mean that you don't want to or don't need to start or can't start the next $100 million franchise opportunity sub shop. Just like you can't, nobody's going to tell me that you can't start the next 7-figure in your area local, you know, lawn and landscaping company or hardscape company, or the next $5 or $10 million regional business. I think it's just absurd. People are like, is it going to saturate, or it's already been done, or in my area, there's already 5 big guys, or hey, in my town, I get this sometimes. Hey, in my town, it's like this guy is the big guy. Well, so what? The big guy was just a little guy at one point. And sure, you might, you know, might face a little bit more stiff competition, or he might be able to underprice or undercut, you know, because there's a different cost structure to his company and efficiencies and whatnot. But the point of all this is, I just want to say, like, dude, not everybody's going to get the vision. So be careful, like, who you tell it to. And then number 2, like, dude, how blessed are you that you're the person that's got this seed that you have to be entrusted with to grow something crazy, something wild, something awesome. And it's like, what are you going to do with that seed? Are you going to like take it, eat it? You know, are you going to take it, squash it, take it, plant it on, you know, rocky soil? Or are you going to plant it in fertile ground and nurture it and water it and fertilize it and protect it and, you know, keep away the critters? And are you going to tend to it? Are you going to put up fencing? Are you going to put up barriers? Are you going to nourish it? Like, dude, this little seed, this thought is where it really stems from, and then it grows into your company. Like, not everybody's going to get that vision in their life. For some people are just literally destined to be working for somebody else and just be an employee, or just you know, just rank and file on something. And that's totally fine. It's nobody's better, nobody's worse, dude, nothing like that. But, you know, Jeremiah had said something on a podcast. He said, yeah, like without employees, there would be no company. It's true. Like, just because you have, you know, you want to be a leader, like there has to be followers. Like if you want to be an owner, there has to be employees or some variant of that, right? And so here's just a quick thought I had for the day, and just something that I was thinking about over the weekend was, man, like if you have this vision to go do something, go do it, and do it with everything you got. Like go out there and win big. Don't half do anything. Don't Don't half it. I think there's a clip by, what was the guy's name? Matt McConaughey. He's like, half-ass. He's like, what is half-ass? Don't half-ass anything. And it's like, bro, it's true. I saw another quick Instagram clip because I'm on Instagram too much, just like all of you guys. And this guy put up his hand. He goes, everybody put up your hand. And everybody raised their hand up. And then he raised his hand even higher. And he goes, now raise your hand even higher. And everybody raised their hand even higher. And he goes, why didn't you raise your hand the whole way up the first time you did it? And it's like, we all got more in us. Like I heard like somebody say, I think it was Darren Hardy. He said, bulls always reproduce as much as they can. Trees grow as high as they can. And he had a couple more. And it's true. And then over here, like we're over trying to grow our company. We're like, I mailed it. I put in my 8 hours today, my 10 hours today. I've already sent out enough agreements. I've already called enough customers, and we play to minimums. And sometimes some of us play to above averages, but above averages and maximums are a totally different thing. And I see so many people rest their laurels on, well, I did more than the next guy, comparing themselves to typically an employee or a family member or the next closest ambitious person that they know. And it's like, bro, like that's not your competition. It's against you versus you, right? We've said this before. And like, okay, if you laid it all on the table and you're done and you're exhausted and you're like, dude, I don't know what else I could do in terms of being like A, tapped out, or B, keeping a somewhat of a family, balance in there, dude, that's awesome. I get it. But there's so many people that like, they put in this like above average work ethic and they're like, I'm proud of myself. And I'm like, dude, an above average work ethic compared to who? Compared to Olympic athletes, compared to, the highest achieving profile of success business people and entrepreneurs. I mean, and this isn't like this isn't a tough guy talk. I'm just saying like, if you have this vision and you are destined to build something, dude, go build it. Stop negotiating the price of success and go get this thing done. And it's just an encouraging word today to any of you guys listening in. Maybe you guys are, a regular listener and you know where I come from. Like, dude, leave it all on the line. Let's grow. If you really get around me, like, yeah, we'll hang out. Yeah, we'll chill. We'll go to the pool once in a while. I have fun days. I have family days, all this stuff. I love doing that, of course. But as excited as I was spending time in Destin with my family for a week, I was just equally excited about getting back and just blowing up our business, crushing it.
New program alert. The How to Get New Lawn Care Customers training program is now available. If you guys have ever struggled at acquiring new customers or are looking to grow your lawn care business, then this new program might just be for you. Looking to learn the best tactics to develop a successful postcard marketing campaign? We got you covered. Have you ever wondered how to use social media to exponentially grow your business and dominate the competition? We got that too. Whether you're just getting started in business or you're a seasoned vet, there's something for everyone in this new program available now, exclusively at entrepreneuracademy.com.
Getting new customers. We sent out 85, renewals for residential, another 20 plus for commercial, in HOAs and blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, I can't wait to get back. I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to help my friends on social. I can't wait to help all the people that are listening in on the podcast and our email newsletters that are going out. Like, I can't wait to get back. There's so much stuff that we want to do and grow and win. And then sometimes people are like, well, I'm doing good. And I think I'm working hard, right? And that's fine and that's good. But you have more in it. And I'm always going to challenge you. If you're listening to this show. And if you're new here, hey, welcome to the jungle. It's Lawns, Lessons, Life. It's all about helping you guys grow a real, authentic lawn care business. You can do it. You can crush it. And if you don't know how to do something, just keep at it. Just keep focused. Just keep learning. Find help on a book. Find help with on YouTube. Call somebody. Find somebody local that can help you or guide you or mentor you. But once you get that vision, get a plan. And then here's one thing I heard: get a vision, make a plan. Once you take the plan, forget the plan, work, and then forget the plan. And then eventually you will find out and you'll wind up, quote unquote, where your goal and your dream was going to take you. But so many people are just busy having visions and building this idea business versus a practical business. And it's like, dude, that plan's going to change 100 times when you get there. But like, get the vision, make a plan, forget the goal, just work the plan. And that's just something I wanted to encourage you guys today. Like, all day long, people are wanting to talk about the vision or the dream or this and that, myself included. But where the rubber really comes to meet the road is let's work. Let's work hard and let's get this thing done. That's something that I just wanted to just drop a quick note today to you guys. Like, I'm all about helping people learn more about how to start a successful lawn and landscaping business. I really am. But at the end of the day, as you guys know, it does come down to execution. And for some of you guys that are just looking to get your business started this spring, for some of you guys, maybe this is your second, your third year, and you're like, dude, this is a little bit more than I thought. This is a little bit more difficult than I thought. Like this is challenging. Like, things are expensive. Equipment is expensive. Like, there's a lot here that we have to do. Yes, it is more challenging. It is more difficult than you might think. I've been there. I remember doing my second year, we made less money than our first year, even though our revenue had doubled. Why? Because we started buying more equipment and we started having more labor. It is a challenging conversation. It is a challenging topic, right? There's no doubt about it. So that's just something that I wanted to tell you guys. Like, if you're new, it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult than you think. It's probably going to be a little bit more challenging than you think, but it's so much more worth it than you could ever imagine. That's something that I just wanted to let you guys know. We're all excited about rushing out the door and building this thing and all this, fun stuff. Dude, I totally agree. I'm right there with you guys. But you know what? It does come down to execution. It does come down to building your company. It does come down to putting the rubber where it meets the road. And I just don't want anybody to think that, number one, you're better than anybody or anything like that, because it's not really that. I don't want anybody to think that it's easy. I don't want anybody to think that you're better than because you're a dreamer and you're a business owner to be, and that other people aren't important in terms of being support players or followers or right-hand men or foremans or crew leads or office people, right? Like, all those people are part of the puzzle to build your company, right? So, and not that anybody, has any, bad attitudes or anything like that, comparatively. I just want to say, like, dude, if you're excited about building your company, man, you and me both. I can't wait. But as much as the visions is important, I think getting a game plan for the upcoming season is more important. That's really the topic. That's really the message that I want to just give you guys really quick. This is a short and sweet one today. Get a plan for the upcoming season. I'm going to get 50 new customers, or we're just going to do $100,000 more. Let this be the year that you don't let any guesswork into the mix. There's no guesswork in the recipe, okay? I want you guys to figure out exactly what you're trying to do, exactly how much money to make. We're talking exacts. This is not hyperbolic. This is not motivational. This is not inspirational. If you get a little bit of all the above from our show, fantastic. I hope you do, and I think you will. Maybe it'll be entertaining, right? But I want you guys to be intentional with everything you do this year. Like, why are we doing what we do? And that comes from getting a game plan. It comes from putting together a solid budget. It comes together with knowing your numbers. I'm telling you, I'm going to plug it, and you already know it's coming. If you're new, listen up. If you've been here, don't hit skip. Don't hit skip 15. Don't hit skip 30, dude. I get it. Like, I know how people are. I'm the same way. The know your numbers calculator, it's selling like crazy right now. There's so many great testimonies that came in off the first week that we can't even reshare them fast enough on social. It's a Excel file. It's $99, I think. I should sell for $3.99. We're not doing that. We're trying to make it accessible. But so many people have been plugging in their numbers. I had one guy, he was within $1 of where his labor rate was based on his mental math. And then he plugged it all into the calculator. He's like, dude, your calculator was $1 higher than what mine came in when I spent hundreds of dollars and many hours with my bookkeeper figuring out exactly where we needed to be. And I'm like, dude, what up, though? Like, that's so freaking cool. And I did a podcast episode with Jeremiah Jennings on the Growing Green podcast that I think will drop on Wednesday this week on his show. So make sure you guys stay tuned and listen in on that one. Because we talked about it for 40 minutes about the 8 different categories that it'll help break down. And Jeremiah was pressing in. He's like, well, what about this? And what about that? It was such great conversation. And I'm not just plugging it to plug it. I sincerely want you guys to get these tools and these resources to grow and to make money, right? Like, man, like the heartache I see out there are people that are just burning up the engines, burning up the tires. Like myself included, the first 11 years in business. Okay. So anyway, at the end of the day, here's what I want you guys to be intentional this year. Get a game plan now, because in another 2, 3, 4 weeks, I mean, especially if you're down south, you might be running out the door March 1st. But in the next month or so, most of us are going to be running out the door, doing our cleanups, our mulch, our pine straw, our first couple mows, all that mess, right? Awesome, excited, dude, can't wait. But get a game plan of what you're trying to make this year. Get a game plan of where you're trying to grow your company, and hold yourself accountable. Find an accountability partner. a brother, an uncle, a friend, a peer, a community member, a pastor, and have these benchmarks to where you're trying to grow your business. Like, nothing happens by accident. I was telling Jeremiah, I said on that podcast, I said, profit doesn't happen automatic. Profit isn't automatic. Like, you have to be intentional to get there. And I want you guys to, I just so want you guys to just take 30 minutes today. It's like, if you could just do me a solid, can you guys just remember this podcast later tonight? Maybe you're driving 8 o'clock in the morning, you're rushing off the job site or going to get some supplies. Dude, totally cool, totally get it. But dude, just start the process of setting some goals. Write some things down. What are you trying to do this year with your business? And then execute, right? Get this vision, get this dream. God planted these seeds of greatness inside of you. That's my belief. It's your job to cultivate and to grow and to nurture. And then from there, you got to get a plan. How are you going to make this thing come true? You might not have every puzzle piece, but that's okay. Start anyway. You'll figure out the rest as you go. That's kind of how it works anyway, to be honest. And then from there, get your game plan. And then from there, execute. Okay, let's keep it really simple, really practical. It's just an encouraging word I want to give you guys today. I don't have this massive Monday motivational talk for you. I don't want people to have any guesswork out there, right? Like, profit is not going to be automatic for everybody this year, for anybody really this year. Right, especially with the challengingness with interest rates and supplies and equipment availability and labor. Like, dude, nothing's getting cheaper. It never will. Let's be real. But as we go into this week, be intentional, right? Don't just rush out the door, and be like, oh my God, spring cleanups and let's go do 8 a day. Like, dude, let's get some numbers dialed in. What do we need to do? Where do we need to be to get to where we want to go? Because if you're not intentional that way, that grand vision, that hope, that message, that whatever that God gave you, it will die on the vine, right? Like, I mean, imagine being entrusted with something so grand that only 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000 get, right? And then you go off and haul off and throw it, caution to the wind, and guess on how to accomplish it. I mean, that would be wild, right? Like, if I bought a Ferrari and I gave it to my kid, and it was a $350,000 458. Saw one in Rosemary Beach, Florida, just parked outside in the rain, for crying out loud. I was like, oh my God. But if I gave a 5-year-old kid a $350,000 car and I gave it to him, and I just said, hey, take care of this thing and all this other mess. And he didn't understand the value of it. Right. And he's like, just doesn't drive it or just sells it or trades it for a coloring book, because he doesn't know what a car is worth. He's like, I like the color. And he just treats it so lightly. He just treats it so flippantly. He doesn't understand the total value. He doesn't even understand what it could really do, right? This could go 200 miles an hour and it could par the velvet ropes, or, depending on whatever your definition of a sports car is going to do for you. I don't care. You could pick up chicks. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not important at 5, but it'll be important at 25. But if he doesn't know the value of that thing, he's going to treat it like it's a paperweight. He's going to trade it in for a coloring book or pick whatever, folks. You know what I'm saying? And if God's given you these seeds of greatness for your business and for this dream and for this vision for you, your family, your community, and you don't value it and you don't know how to treat it, and you're not going to care for it because you don't really know what it's worth. Like, dude, shame on me, shame on us, right? So treat it serious. Don't ever forget that if you got the entrepreneurial bug, dude, it hits 1 in 5,000, 1 in 10,000, 1 in 50,000, I don't know, 1 in 100,000. Like, don't take it for granted that message, that vision, that belief, that oomph, that Holy Spirit, that whatever, that was instilled in you. And then you're just going to be like, hey, I'm going to just guess on how to grow this thing to be able to accomplish the dreams and goals and vision that God or whoever gave me. Like, wrong approach, bro. Wrong approach. And in fact, if you're going to be a steward of the things that God gives you and treat them that way, my belief system is that it's biblical. You're not going to get more. It's going to get taken away from you. And if you do execute and you do accomplish, more will be added to you. All right, that's what I got to say for today. Dude, so much great stuff going on behind the scenes from you guys listening in. Mike Garvey's got some great stuff with Postcard Mania. Rory with Patriot, he's acquiring businesses. Dude, you guys are growing like freaking crazy. All my friends that are listening to the podcast, dude, hit me up on Instagram. Say hey anytime. I'm always here for you guys. But My God, people are buying equipment. People are investing in yard signs. People are investing in postcards with Postcard Mania. People are growing with getting the whole ball of wax. $300 off for the spring promo code Spring Rush. Thank you guys so much for investing into that. So many of you guys are getting access to the contracts, the documents, the resources. I just saw a guy the other day. I think it was Quinn's Property Services, maybe on YouTube. He secured like an $18,000 or $20,000 job. He shot me a DM and I was watching the video. Hit subscribe to his channel. Like, dude, you guys are crushing it. Keep crushing it. Keep growing. Keep your foot on the gas, and treat the vision that God gave you to be an entrepreneur serious. No guesswork. All right. If you got questions, buy a coaching call. If you got questions, shoot me an email. If you got questions, shoot me a message and we'll make a podcast out of it. Because if you have that question, 100 other people, if not 1,000, if not 100,000 more people do. We're not reaching 100,000 just yet on the show every day. We will get there one day. We're getting about 100,000 a month though. We're making progress. If you guys enjoy the show, hey, we grow this thing organically, man. Share it with a lawn bro. Share it with a friend. That's how we're growing this thing. We can't wait to make a splash in 2023. The Spring Rush will be here before you guys know it. Let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer. We're going to button this thing up. You guys have a great rest of the week. Monday motivation there from Brian Fullerton. Brian's All Maintenance. Hit that plus sign in the top right corner. Hit that follow. You get notified of a new podcast every time it drops on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's what I got for you guys. Have a great day, and we will catch up with you on the next one.
We're excited to announce that the Entrepreneur Academy Live 2022 event replay is now available exclusively at entrepreneuracademy.com. I'm Mr. Producer, and if you were unable to make it to our annual live event in Novi, Michigan this past November, we've got you covered. Get instant access to the live speeches and keynotes from this amazing event and take in tons of knowledge and information from some of the biggest leaders and business owners in the green industry. Hear insights from Mark Bradley, Troy Clogg, Paver Pete, James Mansky, and so many others. These 9 speeches are guaranteed to motivate, educate, and inspire you to elevate your game. Start listening now to the Entrepreneur Academy Live 2022 event replay at entrepreneuracademy.com, and we'll leave a link for you in the show description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.